Good morning, students. Today's topic is the continuation of chapter number 1 on equality from political science. And today I will discuss with you some issues of equality in other democracy or in other democratic country of the world. Okay? So, my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation about different kinds of rules, regulations and policy made by government of India to reduce inequality from society, and our government had tried too much to clear the differences between the unequal people. For example, as I told you that earlier, before the independence of India and after the independence of India, many people of India who were the citizens of India, but they were facing a lot of problem related to inequality, differences, discrimination on the basis of upper class, lower class, religion, race, caste, place of birth, etc., etc., and also difference between the male and female. So, just after the independence of India, our government of India had introduced a lot of plans, rules and regulation to reduce inequality from our Indian society. So, to reduce inequality among all the people of India, our constitution makers had given us a constitution like right to freedom, right to equality, one vote by one person, and after that, to reduce inequality from society, our government of India also introduced a number of policies like to reduce poverty and to make educated, literate those who belong to the lower class or minority. And this a very important scheme which was first of all passed by the Tamil Nadu government in 2001, and that was the midday meal to every government schools of Tamil Nadu. But after the success of this plan, the Supreme Court asked all state government to begin this program in their school within 6 months. And finally, our government of India was completely successful to introduce these plans in each and every government schools of India. And according to this special program to reduce inequality from the society and schools, Dalit women have been employed to cook the meal, and the midday meal program also helps reduce the hunger of poor students who often come to school and cannot concentrate on study because they are hungership. Alright? So this kind of program started by our government to reduce inequality from society. But my dear students, issues of inequality related to other part of the country is as well as like India. Before independence and after the independence of India, our Indian people faced a lot of problem related to the inequality in India. Same in other part of the world, many people face this kind of inequality and discrimination. So students, issues of equality related to the other democratic country of the world, I am going to discuss a story related to the United States of America, where people fought and struggled for equality. So, the issue of equality continues as the key issue around the world related to the communities, race, caste and gender. So, in United States of America, there Afro-Americans or African Americans whose ancestors were the slaves of American, and they were brought from Africa. They had faced a lot of problem related to the race or related to the colors like whites and Negroes or black like this. And this kind of inequality which was prevailed before the civil rights movements in all the United States of America. But a major problem which was faced by the Afro-American, that was they were denied totally from the law and they were treated extremely unequal in the American societies. That's why finally in the late 1950s, people of America who were Afro-American fought and started a movement in 1950 around, and they had fought for the restoration of equal right for every African or for those who were Afro-American. So students, according to this example, you can understand that how people who were brought by the American from the African continent had faced a lot of problems. So students, Rosa Parks, who was an Afro-American woman, when she was tired from a long day at work in her office, after the getting bus, when she refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man on 1 December 1955, and her refusal that day started a huge movement or agitation against the unequal behavior by the Americans to the Africans were started, and this which came to be known as the civil rights movement. And this happened because during the around of 1950s and before, when traveling by bus by anyone, they either had to sit at the back of the bus or get up from their seat whenever white person wished to sit. But Rosa Parks refused to give her seat to the pure Americans. That's why agitation and movement started by the Afro-American against the Americans, and this right known as civil rights movements. And finally, the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964 to reduce discrimination and equality on the basis of race, religion or national religion. And after some time later, it is also stated in all the United States of America that all schools would be open for the Afro-American children, and that they would no longer have to attend any separate schools which was set up by the government, especially for Afro-American girls and boys. And but students, as well as like in India, after getting equal right by any country to the people, just after the long struggle, still like Dalits and lower class people and minority in India is suffering from the poverty. Same to same in all the United States of America, Afro-Americans is still facing a lot of problem, and they were also suffering from the poverty and different kind of issues related to day by day needs. So my dear students, on the basis of this, now you can understand that how people face a lot of problem related to the inequality in the society, and anyhow they got equality and rights and number of plannings, but still they are suffering a lot of problem because they are not progressing equal to the people who belong to the upper class or who were rich. So my dear students, on the basis of this topic, we can understand that in present day, in all over the world, still issues of inequality or equality we can see. So it is our responsibility and also the government of any countries of the world that to reduce this kind of inequality and discrimination from the society totally, after the making a number of schemes and plans, especially for those who are poor, who are backward, who are less in number, and who are denied by different kind of facilities. Alright. So students, your chapter number 1 on equality is completed now. For today's, that's all. And in next day, I will discuss with you question and answer related to this chapter. Alright. Thank you and have a nice day.